Bill Collins. Who the guy? Jalen Rose.
All right, I'd like to welcome everybody to the Board of Adjustments, March 22nd, 2016 meeting. Calling the meeting to order. Roll call of members. My name is Brad Walker, Chairman, President. Mr. Devin Graham, Vice Chair.
Present.
Steve Jeffrey.
Present.
Mr. Ed Crowell.
Present.
Mr. Brandon Bennett.
Present.
Mr. Willie Robinson.
Present.
All right, we're all present tonight. At this time, I'd like to open it up for public comment period. All those for or against the Board of Adjustments, if you have something to say, please come forward. If you're here for a certain agenda item, we do this at every agenda item, so hold your comments to that agenda item. Anybody like to speak? All right, closing public comment period. Do I hear a motion to accept the minutes of the January 26, 2016 meeting?
Motion. I'll second.
Got a motion by Devin, second by Brandon to approve the minutes as written. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion approved. Do I hear a motion to accept the written decisions of the January 26, 2016 meeting?
Motion. Second.
Got a motion by Steve, second by Ed. All those in favor?
Aye.
Written decisions approved. All right, we're going to public hearing, zoning review ID 2562.16 for Lot A-4-B for the property of Rebecca Riley for J. Savoy Enterprises LLC, located on the west side of Eco Road, approximately 60 feet north of Grievous Sheets Road. Somebody here to represent this variance? Please come sign in and tell us what you're trying to do.
I am Jill Savoy. I represent J. Savoy Enterprises. At the time I requested the variance, I own this property. Since applying for the variance, I have sold it, and Mr. George Lee is here with me tonight.
Okay.
And what we're requesting is on Lot 4A4B, we're requesting there is a 20-foot servitude in the back of the property, a setback.
Okay.
What we're requesting is a 9-foot setback to give us room. It's a corner lot. That would give us room for the well, the pump, the tank, and everything to be set in that 11-foot that we have asking for variance.
Okay.
The lot next door is already with a 9-foot servitude, and I just wanted it to be
want
the
to
same
match?
if possible. I also own the lot next door.
Where along the rear, to the left side or the right side, would you be putting everything?
We would be putting everything on the left side.
Kind of like where the other one is on lot A-4-A?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Any questions?
I have a question. I'm wondering what's the hardship?
Well, it's a corner lot. My property, the property actually goes across Gervis Sheets. Gervis Sheets runs through my property. So we have building lines, we have utility servitudes, and that is the only place that we can get enough room to put a shed and still have a little bit of yard.
You couldn't put the shed up against the mobile home?
Well, we prefer to have the setback adjusted.
What's going in the shed?
Well, we would put the tank and the pump, plus any outdoor equipment.
How big of a building?
preferably trying to do like a 10 by 16. With that size, with the servitude the way it is, it just wouldn't work.
Just a wood frame structure?
Yes, sir.
My favorite questions are drainage. Is there a ditch or anything back there? I didn't get a chance to get out to this. look
There
at this
is a little swell separating our property line and the other neighbor's property line, and it drains to Beco Road.
one. Okay.
And then all of the front drains to the Gervis sheets. So there's not a drainage issue. With the recent rains,
Okay. Well, no, I'm just making sure that there's not a ditch and the building would
no.
make it harder
no.
to get to that drainage infrastructure.
Excuse me. The mobile home is gonna stay, or are you gonna build another structure?
The mobile home's gonna stay for right now, yes, sir. I don't
Right
plan
now.
on building anytime soon, no, sir.
Okay.
Is this a prefabricated shed, or is it one that you would custom build?
I was planning on buying it prefabricated. Then spoke with the gentleman. I've just been waiting because, like I said, I can't fit it as of now without going on to the servitude. I've been waiting until we discussed it.
Yes, sir.
So if the 11-foot variance isn't requested, then the shed won't fit?
Right. The 9 feet variance on the other property, did we grant that?
No, that's because, no, that's just regular.
No, it was granted. It was granted through the board
What
with the
was it?
variance.
By a previous owner.
Yes.
When we split it, we granted that?
Yes, sir, probably so. You also have to realize that the setback on that lot goes 35 feet from the property line. The one on this side is 12 feet is the servitude, because it's a corner lot. So that lot had more setback than this lot has.
If they turn the trailer toward Beco Road, what would the side be instead of 20?
It would be the same. Well, I would consider it being the same, based on the map that's been produced that states that it's 10 feet on that side and then 20 feet in the rear.
But if the mobile home was facing Beco and it wasn't a corner lot, it would be 10?
Yes,
For this
sir.
area?
Yes. Yeah. Basically what it is that being a corner lot, you're allowed to reduce that front building line by half.
Okay. Any other questions?
That's it for me.
All right, have a seat. We're going to open it up for public comment period. Anybody has anything for or against this variance, please come sign in. All right, ma'am. Just tell us your name and for or against it, and
My name is Deb Cottrell. I am against it, but however, since coming here, new things have come to light. We had no idea this property was sold. It's not showing so in the assessor's office. We came before you in 2012, Mr. Walker. I understand the rest of y'all are new. And Rebecca Riley split the property with lies. I'm sure you remember that. And we are opposed to having two residences on the property. We were hoping that that could be, because the variance of not carrying over, be somehow able to move the whole, the other trailer. We really wanted to be in uniform with the rest of the property, and we tried to appeal that before. It was granted with no proof of house plans, no proof of refinancing, and the lot was split, and it should never have been split. Being there's a new owner, that makes it a little different than what I had here to say. But if there's any way possible, we would like one of the homes removed and the property sold as a unit, and we would more than welcome any neighbor there has a single unit. It's just not in uniform with the rural property that we have, which we told you before. So I don't know really what to say now that it's sold, how we could go about uniting the property as one. So basically, I guess I'm asking if he could buy the entire property, remove the second trailer, and make it a single residence home as it should be and should always have been.
Okay.
Abe Young.
All right. Good afternoon. My name is Gabriel Young. I own a property on the south side of Jervis Sheets Road. I know the majority of this committee is new, and don't take these comments towards you because you were not here for the original variance. I would like to start by saying I oppose this hardship variance for this property. We as a neighborhood oppose this previous hardship variance at the October 2012 meeting, but the variance was approved by the committee at the time with stipulations that were not met. We as a neighborhood brought this back to the committee to have the hardship variance revoked, but the committee would not change the ruling even though the stipulations were not met. All right, so there's no he said, she said here, as Mr. James Cecil did quote during that October meeting, but facts. This is all facts that we presented. We introduced facts to the committee at that November 12th meeting, and that committee chose to ignore the facts. After we were told to bring the concerns or nonconformances back to the committee if they were not followed. Quotes from that legal binding video from October 12th committee meeting by Mr. James Cecil. We do not issue variances for rental property. I am an advocate of keeping the neighborhood all in line, which means no rental property and keeping the same lot sizes. I would like to know how now we have two divided properties, which was too small to divide in the first place, and a rental property. The variance for this property was for a home to be built and for the trailer never to become rental property. These stipulations were never enforced. So in closing, I think anyone can come up with an excuse for a variance to split property or to pop up a trailer. And from what I've seen, the Board of Adjustments Committee will approve it, and there's no repercussions for not following the variance. So thank you for your time and your consideration for that.
Okay, thank you.
Mike Wolf.
Hey, how's everybody doing? I'm Mike Roten. Just bought a house less than a year ago on the south side of the property. I have a family planning to raise here in the parish, just moved to the parish, originally from Baton Rouge. My big problem with the thing is that instantly my property is devalued because we've taken the property and split it where it wasn't supposed to be split and made it smaller, but smaller accommodations at a lesser quality. And while I have no plans to sell, I still don't want to see my property devalue. And instantly, in less than a year, the neighborhood is devaluing. The neighborhood's changing. And I like the consistency. I like the large lots. On top of that, it was never supposed to be a rental property on there, and it is definitely, the A lot is a rental property. This is no he said, she said. There is a rental there, and that was never supposed to happen. Now we're asking for a variance on something. I mean, what's the point of even having an adjustment board? Why even come to y'all? I can just go pop up a trailer. There's no point. So, I mean, if there's no point to be here, I'd rather my taxpayer dollars go to something else than to a group of people that, well, we did, rule on this and said, well, we're not going to let this happen. But it happened, and now we're not going to do anything. So why even be here? I love this parish, and I can't wait for my kids to grow up in this parish and grow old in this parish. And I hope it works out. Thank you for your time.
That's it. Anybody else? All right, closing public comment period. Do I hear a motion, discussion?
So
Discussion.
what were the stipulations back in October? I mean,
Well, they said something about rentals, but there's no way we can control what happens on that property. The lot is a legal lot of record. It was sold, and then at that point, that person can put it's zoned for single family. We consider a mobile home single family, and they're allowed to put a single family residence on that property.
The new owner.
I am new to all of this information. I think it was Ms. Riley who had the land previously. I bought the property from Shane Gotro. When I bought it, I bought 2 lots. One lot had a mobile home on it, which he had rented. So I bought it as is. I made sure with the parish, everything was up to code, everything was done properly to put a mobile home, and we did it according to the code. I had no idea, like I said, the previous, all we wanted to do was make sure we were in proper order with the parish. And Mr. Lee bought the property. It's not a rental. He has bought the property. The reason it is, I have my paperwork here, the bill of sale, the cash sale. We have a sale with mortgage. So he is here working in the parish, wanting to live in this parish. And he's not someone that's going to be gone 3 months from now. If he would have wanted to do that, he would have rented. But he wanted to actually purchase the property. And I just hate to see him denied being able to put storage unit on there to store his equipment, the pump, the tank. And I understand that the neighbors, but I feel like this is something that was before I purchased the property, and I had no control over any of that.
Your intent is to live on the property?
Yes, sir. I'm from Florida originally, and I came here to work and become family with a lot of good people in this community, and decided to become a resident here and live here for good.
Okay. So you're not purchasing to invest, to rent it out, you purchase to
purchasing
live?
to have a home.
Do what? Yeah, I guess the sticking point was when we made this decision. It was a single female that had the lot. It was being pressured. There was neighbors dispute with the lady at the time, and she did lie to us and say that she was doing this as a hardship and that she was saving this lot for her daughter and was not gonna sell it at the time. They came back and found, as soon as she got the variance, I think it was sold. And then the next meeting, they came back to let us know that. I did inform Lindsay, that was a lawyer at the time, and she was the one that told there was nothing really we can do. We can't prevent land sales.
That's right.
At all. And then we said, well, she lied to us on video. And at that point, she says, well, it's not that technically like a court of law that she wasn't under oath. And if you remember that period that we were swearing everybody in,
Yes.
okay, that was kind of a result from that variance. Because if we would swear them under oath and they lied before us, then we could have done something. Yeah. And so since then, we have not sworn in, because I've been told not to swear people in anymore, applicants. And so that's kind of where the whole history comes from this lot.
Yeah, I remember that.
So none of this information was disclosed to you all?
No. We found out, I found out later from when we were working on this lot, the neighbors came and a couple of them said that they were under the impression and nothing was going to be allowed to be put there. Well, I thought it was due to restrictions on the lot. But I checked with Lance and everything was okay. Everything that we were doing was okay. We had no idea
I do remember putting restriction of not, being a rental unit on it. Nobody filed a complaint?
There's, again, I understand that you state that they can't put rentals on it, but it's a single-family dwelling, and I don't know of any way that we can restrict that.
And that's what I own right now, is the other lot,
Did the other
A4A,
had a mobile?
and it had an existing mobile home on it with a tenant in it. And that was news to me, too. I had no idea that you were not supposed to have rental property. But it is, and I own it, and I can't
Right.
kick her out.
Lot A4A.
When we split it, I think the mobile home on A was there.
It was there.
There
Correct.
wasn't anything.
Yes,
on
it
this
was
one that
there.
We're talking about here,
It was there.
right?
Yes.
So you had two trailers there,
No, they had one trailer initially when we split.
and then then you put the one in the back.
This one's on here now, the one you have on the map?
The one we're messing with?
On B, right now, the one we're talking about has a mobile home on it?
Yes,
So you added one since you purchased.
on lot A4B.
Right.
B, okay.
A4A had one when I bought it with a tenant in it.
A4A did.
Yes, sir.
Then you put another one.
On A4B.
Oh, I see.
Which was a legal lot at the time.
Right.
Yeah.
See why they upset though. Because you went from one dwelling to two.
Yeah, but now it's a separate lot by
Yeah.
itself. There's only one dwelling on this lot.
Yeah.
There's not two on that lot.
Right. But the
Yeah.
And it's not a rental, I
But-
purchased it, so,
Well,
So you purchased lot A4B.
yes, sir, I have.
Yeah.
I mean, all we're looking at is the shed, though.
Yeah.
I mean, we can't do anything about the mobile home situation, right?
No, I've talked
mean,
to
that's-
Lindsay and all that before. Whenever this was all brought up back then, we asked if there was anything we can do at the
Yeah.
time. That had happened before. She decided to sell it or something when we brought it up before. And legal was telling us there was nothing we could do. So,
Well, as far as what we're after tonight, I don't have that sheet. What did y'all go with, Lance, on staff? I can't remember.
It was,
Yeah, staff recommends to deny the variance as requested, but allows some type of reduction.
Reduction on it?
Yeah, do allow a reduction, yes.
Yeah, I mean, I like the idea of allowing something, give them, work
So-
with each other somehow.
So what's
15 feet or
reasonable
something.
within harmony, I'm sorry?
Oh, you're good.
What would be reasonable within harmony of,
well, I mean, I don't know about 9 foot, but I do see 10 foot on the same property or 12 foot on the utility servitude side to still allow that same on the back.
So a favorite question of mine is, what's the minimum you need?
What I would like to try to do is have the same variance as the neighbor.
Yeah, so that's what you're asking for.
Yes,
but
that's-
I'd like to adjust that the opposite way a little bit.
With it being the way it is right now, if I put the shed, I would literally have to put the shed against the trailer to stay on my side of the variance. With it being a 10-foot shed, I was trying to get the 11-foot, being
Yes,
a
sir.
10-foot shed, and I would still be able to stay back away from that enough and still have enough room to at least get my stuff around the trailer itself.
So the distance between the current line and the trailer's less than, is 10 feet?
It's like probably about 10 or 12 foot, yes, sir. I mean, it's tight. With the variance the way it is now, I would literally have to pin it against my home.
I do 5 feet. I'd like to do the variance of 5 feet. It keeps that 15 foot in the back. It helps them out with the harmony. I understand there's really no real hardship. I mean, appearances aren't always hardships. But I don't have that's not a motion. I'm just trying
saying
to echo the thought amongst.
You're saying 5 instead of 11?
Yeah. Do a 5-foot variance, which is in 15 feet.
Yeah.
Steel between here and there.
So, yeah.
May I ask what the difference between the property next door and mine?
Yes.
I mean, this is a purchase.
No, ma'am, we've closed public hearing already.
What would be the difference between the property next door being 9 and mine being 9? That's the same variance all the way to Beco Road. I mean, that gives you your 9-foot variance all the way to Beco.
Yes.
Yes, sir, and I'm with you.
I mean,
I'm looking at the lot individually and the idea of a hardship to me.
Well, the hardship is this is a corner lot, and we were so tight being able to put the trailer in there
Yes, ma'am.
and get everything together there
Yes, ma'am.
instead of being on the road almost.
Yes, ma'am. Oh, I respect that.
And I mean, everybody needs a shed to put their lawn equipment in, and like I said, the tank and the pump for the well.
Oh, don't get wrong. I'm just one thought right there.
I know, I'm just saying ours, and like I said, when I purchased this, I was not aware of any of this.
Yes, ma'am.
Maybe the guy that I bought it from was, but I was not made, and naturally, he's not gonna tell it, he wanted to sell it.
Well, I'm only worried about what's on the paper and
Yeah.
the variance and order. The history is not a.
But I just want him to
I
be
don't want to say it's
able
not a
to,
concern, by the way. I want to say it's not relative to what we're doing tonight.
I would just like him to have a decent yard
Yes, ma'am.
and have a decent shed instead of have everything out in the yard.
Yes, ma'am.
may I ask what the difference, I mean, you're basically gonna be stair-stepping a variance down from one property to the next. I mean, wouldn't it be just as simple to have a 9-foot all the way across the whole thing?
Well, guys, let me just advise y'all, under the code, when y'all consider a variance, you have to look at the lot individually and not compare neighboring
That's what-
properties. You have to look at the individual hardship, so.
Right.
Just wanted to let y'all know that.
Well, that's why, to me, the reason I said 10 is that if he would have turned the trailer this way and it wouldn't have been a corner lot, okay, and he would be facing Beco, that would be a 10-foot side already. Okay, without us doing anything.
Anything to it.
If it wasn't a corner lot. So the corner lot becomes the hardship that increases that side to a 20.
Oh, I'm open to that. I just don't.
So, but that's me looking at this individual lot, not worried about the next
Yeah,
one,
not worried about
that
that
it would be a 10-foot side, same as the other one. So, and I think the only reason one side has 12-foot is because it's a utility servitude.
Yeah.
So, and he couldn't go into that anyway because that's utility servitude.
Yeah.
Motion?
Anybody?
I'm kind of with you, Devin. I mean, I understand it'd have to push the shed against the trailer, but that's where it was when he bought it, you know. I mean, I definitely looked at my lots lines before I bought my house, and
Yes, sir.
I knew where I could put stuff and where I couldn't. I don't really see a hardship. Looking at these lines, now, I don't have any scale or anything.
Yes.
I can't tell how far from the back of the trailer to the 20-foot line, but it looks like they're about the same, if not a little more distance between the trail and the rear setback line.
Aerial shots or anything of it.
No, we didn't get anything like that.
It looks 20 or 25 feet between the building setback line and the trailer as it is now.
Well, I'll make a motion for a 5-foot variance in respect
Well,
to
another
everything
thing
else being
is
said.
the AC unit and the utilities are right there on that back corner of that mobile
Yes,
home.
ma'am. Okay.
And it's not like 20 feet between the mobile home and the
Property.
servitude now, the existing servitude.
Yes, ma'am.
But we felt like the hardship would be that it is a corner lot, and you are so tight in with all of your other lines, and we knew we could not get anything on those other moved. This would be the only adjustment we could make.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so you making a motion?
Yeah, I'll make a motion for a variance of 5 feet, and that's about it.
All right. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All right. All right, I got a motion for a variance of 5 foot, which would put it 15 foot from the line, by Devin, and second by Steve. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, motion passed.
Will?
All right, next zoning review ID 2005-67.16 for Lot 217-A Trail Land Subdivision for Brandon Golson, located on the southwest corner of Smith Road and Craig Street. Somebody here to represent that variance? Please come forward and tell us what you're trying to do, please.
Do I need to sign this?
You're the applicant?
Yes.
You applied? No, you don't.
Okay. Everybody else will sign it?
Most of the speakers, we require all the speakers to sign in.
Okay. I'm just trying to get, so I bought a property there, and I was trying to get my grandma's trailer moved over there. She's having health issues. She just had open heart surgery, and as stubborn as she is, the doctor said she can't live on anymore. That's it.
All right.
Oh, I'm looking at the wrong one.
Yeah.
Where on the property are you wanting to put it?
The little cinder block building is sealing the property. Well, I guess y'all can't tell, but long ways against the cinder block building.
To run parallel with Smith Road or
Yes.
Smith right here?
Yeah.
Where is it?
So it'd run long ways with the back street.
Can we give him a map and let him show us on the overhead there?
Yeah. Pick it up on the.
Technology.
See that projector right there? There you go.
Sorry.
All right.
Right there. Did y'all see it?
Yep, yep.
Okay.
Thank you.
Fancy.
The property adjacent, are those trailers?
Yes, sir. Well, they have a little house about the size of that building on my property next to it, but the rest of them are trailers.
Now, you calling this a building and a cinder block building, is that a house there, or is it a?
Me and my son live there,
Okay.
but it's a 2-room with a bathroom. I'll be moving into the trailer with my grandma.
You're gonna be moving in with your grandma,
Yes, sir.
and this is gonna kinda be your shed?
A shed I can't drive a car in.
Wait. If that's the case, hold on. So no one's gonna reside in the home that's there right now?
Not after she moves in.
So, all right, so basically, when you move the mobile home in, you are gonna move in with your grandmother in the mobile home, and then the house is just gonna be a shed? But no one's gonna live in it? It's not gonna be used as a dwelling?
No.
Okay, then no. This wasn't explained, so I guess.
So it doesn't need a
basically-
variance?
Nope, because at that point, it's a
Okay.
single lot, so it's a single lot of record, so.
Oh, so
I'm
yeah, you don't have
sorry.
to split the lot or nothing. I got you.
No, you can use that as a shed, as long as no one dwells in the other house or in the other building. It's a single-family dwelling, he would only have one dwelling on the property, which would be the home, the mobile home that he's putting there. And I'm sorry, I wasn't told everything, so if that's, I'm sorry,
It's all
I
right.
wasted everyone's
Sorry,
time.
I'm sorry too.
It's all good. Looks like it worked out for everybody.
Do I get to keep the power on my little shed? Or-
Yes.
well,
Yeah.
maybe-
Yeah.
Okay, because that was the problem, was the power pole. I got plenty of space for the trailer. I just didn't know how to go about getting the power
So
pole.
since you don't need it, would you like to withdraw your application?
Took him $100 back.
You gotta talk to him now.
Well, pointed at you. Do I give him $100 back? I'm taking the iPad. So what do I do from here?
Sure, yeah, if he wants to do that, that's fine, that'd probably be best, yes.
Go ahead and pass it
You wanna
till next
defer?
month, let him work everything, make sure it works out, and that way he can come back if he needs to, and doesn't have to pay a new application fee.
Okay.
So who do I work that out with? Mr. Lance?
All right,
So am I okay to move it at this point?
Yeah.
Okay.
all we're doing is a formality to move it to next month, in case you decide that you need to stay in the house and you do need the variance. So then we would hear it next month. But if you don't show up next month, we'll drop it.
Okay,
We
and
just need you to request on the record that it be moved.
I request on the record that it's moved to next month.
Do I hear a motion to move this to next month?
I make a motion.
Second.
All right, Steve. And then
So do I tell the power company that it's that address? Are they gonna give me 2 poles, or
Basically, you just
I keep talking to y'all?
Yeah, I was
No,
gonna say,
yeah,
yeah.
it's up to me. Basically,
Just got
just come by tomorrow or whatever, and the way it works is that they'll give you the same address, and there'll just be a secondary drop, I guess you could say, a secondary electricity for the shade, or for the home that's existing.
you got plenty of things to do, and there's more than just Lance you'll have to talk to put that trailer on that lot. There'll be plenty of permits, sewer, all that you have to go through. So.
Oh, I'm sure.
Okay, thank you very much. And then
Is that it?
all those in favor to move this next month? All right. All right, our last zoning review ID 2005-68.16 for lot 12-A-1 on Riverview subdivision for Michael L. and Judy H. Landry Sr., located on the south side of Homeport Drive, approximately 9,800 feet or 1.85 miles of LA Highway 22. I guess that's the closest road y'all found. All right.
Yeah, Homeport's a long road. Michael Landry, bought the property, they got a 25-foot setback, which is already pretty far from the road. But trying to move it up 12 feet because of the back property is right on the river. And you actually, if you look at that back, you actually fall off to the back to the river there. So I was trying to just move the house up a little further, and I'm still plenty, well, I think I'm still plenty enough away from the road. So that's what I was trying to do, just move the house up a little bit. I don't know if you can see that on the,
So the house is gonna be 1 foot from the diversion canal?
well, if you go at that end, my property line,
Is in the middle of the diversion?
well, just almost, you might know, but
Yeah, it's
It-
many feet past that. So
Yeah.
yeah, there's so much drop once you get so far back. That's basically why he wants to move it a little further up.
Okay.
I know that the plat shows that it stops right there, but what happens, the property line continues on. It doesn't stop. The diversion canal is not in his backyard or in his back of his house where his house stops.
Okay, so how is this in line, like your neighbors? Is it in line with your neighbors, or are they further up, further
in
back?
fact, my neighbor that just built got a variance. He's 12 feet.
Okay.
So your neighbors on both sides,
Now,
Would
one side for sure, I know, because he just built, David, then he moved up to 12 feet.
And you're gonna kind of be in line with where he's at?
I'll be in line with Dave, that's right.
Okay. Okay, any other questions? All right, have a seat. We're gonna open up public comment period. Anybody for or against this variance, please come forward. Want to talk? Nope. All right, closing public comment period. I have a motion for or against.
I'll motion to accept.
I'll second.
Okay. Motion by Brandon, second by Ed, to approve as written. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, that approved. Most variance is approved. All right. Do we have any old business? Any update on our missing member? We have an ad or anything going on?
Yes, sir. They are advertising. I saw it recently. Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All right, got a motion by Steve, second by Ed to adjourn. All those in favor?
Aye.
You're adjourned.